You remember because you watched last video when I told you the type of person that was going to thrive from 2025 and beyond is going to be the creator-composer, someone who can build software, who can tell stories about why their software matters. And so I'm going to go over my process for creating content, and I divide it into 5 steps. I'm going to break down my process for creating content, and I'm going to be focusing on short form content where I have almost 1 million followers. I've created over like 600 videos in the last 2 years for short form. We are going to go over my full process and how I've improved and the process that I take every single video. Then I'm going to explain why AI sucks at writing content, how AI is actually going to improve. I'm going to take this whole workflow, which uses 5 different softwares, and I'm going to try and put it together into one software to basically get through these first 4 steps, which are laborious. You're dealing with a lot of documents, and I want to get rid of all of them. And so I'm going to talk about the app that I'm building right now that will speed up the process. And so let's go over step number 1, and this is clipping. And so the clipping tool that I use is a tool right here that is called MyMind. And so I'm going to go ahead and open this up in a split view here. And so we're going to go halvesies here. And so MyMind has an extension, right? I can go to Twitter and I can save anything to MyMind, right? Let's say I find this video, this image or video interesting. I scroll. I got a really good idea from this image here. Let's just pretend for a second. You can click on this and we're going to hit extensions and we're going to go MyMind and we're going to save it to MyMind and say we should create a video going over animations. Now we can save it and I have a content section within MyMind. And now we can save that for later. And we can do that from our phone. We can do that from our computer. And that is an incredibly powerful feature. And so what I can do is we're going to go back to this dual view right here. And we're actually going to do some ideation. And so what I want to do first of all is I want to open up a fresh. And so I've been using Notion for this. On the left here, I'm going to have Notion. And on the right, I'm going to have MyMind. Now we have a place to do our 5 steps here. And I'm just gonna name them right here. So first we have clipping, then we have threading, then we have composing, then we have filming, and then we have editing. And we can do the process relatively quickly here because we're gonna be using AI to make the process significantly faster. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to find something that seems interesting. And so this is the clipping part. So the clipping part is actually done. And I do this ongoing. So anytime I sit down, I don't even need to do this as a step because anytime I find something interesting, I clip it to MyMind. And you should always write your things down in a central location. And then now what we're doing is we're basically threading. So let's find a topic that we think is interesting here. So what we're going to do is we're doing threading. And so within threading, we're just pasting what we have right here. And so I'm actually going to copy this image and I am going to image 1 and I'm just going to hit Command-Shift-M to paste it as a comment. And this is my favorite feature within Notion. Other than that, I'm not a huge fan of Notion. It's just the being able to clip. And you can paste in as big of videos as you want here. So it's super nice to organize things, to be able to nest in comments. You can put videos and images, which is a really cool feature. And so this we can put here, this is a tweet from Levels. And yeah, so right now we're threading, which means we're finding any information that we can on the idea that we selected. And so we're just selecting the fact that Starlink is starting to take over the world. And what we can do here is we can actually go to Twitter as well. So if we go to Twitter and we just type in Starlink, what we can do is we can find other things that we might want to include. And so this is a really great video showing how fast this is. So what I can do here is I'm just going to say video showing how fast Starlink is. We can keep going down and we're finding these latest things right here. Starlink And if I want to get even more context, I can actually go to Perplexity. And what I can do is I can hit Starlink 4 million users, and I can run this. This basically just provides the quickest possible context that we can throw into our thread, because our thread is going to be turned into our script through the composing section, which is the next part. So we want to make sure that all of these things right here are things that we want to include. So Starlink, SpaceX satellite internet service, has surpassed 4 million subscribers worldwide and is on pace. And what I want to do with my app that's coming up, right, because we're creating a thread that will automatically turn into a composition, this is exactly how the app that we are going to release is going to work, except this will all be possible with our voice from our computer, and the web clipper is going to be on the same app as the thread, which is going to be on the same app as the composer, and eventually maybe even filming. Okay, so I think that is some pretty good context. So now I'm going to just copy this thread, and we are now going to compose. And so I just created this simple project that has 4 content examples, and I'm using Kane Calloway, who's a great TikTok and Instagram tech news content creator, and he is one of the best scripters. And so I'm making this for him. I want him to try this out. And I grabbed 7 of his top hooks and 4 of his best videos. And what I'm basically saying here with these custom instructions is you are a content creator and you are to write a script similar to the one in the examples pasted in the project files. If there are any images attached, assume that the viewer can see them as you're speaking. So that's another important thing. So let's make sure that when we paste in this script that we actually go back, and what we need to do is we should actually let them see this graph, right? This is a pretty cool graph, and we can actually include this in Claude. And what we're going to do, and so what we can do is we can just include these images right in here, and if it sees these images, it's going to act like the viewer can see that, because this is generating a script. And as I'm talking, there's going to be images and videos showing on the screen. All right, so here is the thread all loaded up, and here we have both of the images, so I just included these images here. And we can run this. And what we're doing here is we are turning this into a composition. And that's exactly what this app is going to do. And I want this to all be on one app. I know what you're thinking too. This is annoying. You're using MyMind and Notion and Claude. How much money does that all cost? Like $100 a month? Yes, yes. This is going to take this entire process and squeeze it down into the most efficient features ever, so you can literally yap and you can save things to threads. So you can type on the web app, or you can use voice on iPhone or Android, and you can just create threads of yaps, and you can turn them into compositions. With all of the research that I've done over the last 2 years on how to make really good content, we're going to put that structure into the compositions. And that's why I'm building this app. And we're going to let in like maybe 150 to 200 people to do the first testing for this app. So if you want to do that, feel free. If not, cool, man. You do you. I need you to come test it if you want to. But if you don't really want to, then don't. Don't even come. We don't need you if you don't want to. But if you want to, come on over. Anyway, what was I even saying? Oh yeah. Here we go. All right, so here is the script. Starlink is revolutionizing the internet. It's growing faster than you might think. As you can see here, right, there we go. It references the image right there. Let's go. And video show clip of Starlink dishes being installed in remote areas. Very interesting. This cutting edge satellite internet service just hit 4 million subscribers worldwide. That's a staggering 1 million new users in just 4 months. At this rate, Starlink is on track to become the #1 internet provider in the US by 2028. And it's basically showing videos, Starlink projected on ISPs. Operating in over 100 countries, Starlink is expanding rapidly into new markets across Africa, the Middle East, the Pacific Islands. All right, so we are using an app. It's called Prompt Smart. So we're typing in Prompt Smart, and what we're going to do on Prompt Smart is we are going to add a new story here. And so this app allows me to record. And so I can upload my script right here, and I can paste it in, and we can hit save. And now what we can do is we can hit this play button, and now we can record our video. And so what this video will do here is, so we can line this up like this, and this will record, and I can just read directly off the camera. So let's go ahead and do it right now. I like a fast cadence. Bring the energy. People don't want to watch it unless you have energy. That's kind of I gotta bring excess energy before I start filming, because if you feel cringe, you're doing something right. Starlink. Restart. Starlink is revolutionizing the internet, and it's growing faster than you might think. As you can see here, Starlink speeds are impressive, hitting 192 megabits with hitting 192 Mbps with low latency. How do you say that? Megabits? Mbps? And honestly, this is actually a good thing. So when people are watching content, so I'm actually going to purposefully mispronounce it so that hopefully we get people to comment on the video, which would actually be kind of fire. So I'm actually going to restart this. Let's go ahead and restart this. Starlink is revolutionizing the internet, and it's growing faster than you might think. As you can see here, Starlink speeds are impressive, hitting 192 megabits with low latency. This cutting-edge satellite internet service has 4 million subscribers worldwide, which is a staggering 1 million new users in the last 4 months. At this rate, Starlink is on track to become the #1 internet provider in the US, and Starlink operates in over 100 countries. Starlink is expanding rapidly into new markets across Africa, the Middle East, and the Pacific Islands. With a projected $6.6 billion in revenue in 2024, Starlink isn't just connecting the world, it's fueling SpaceX's ambitious space exploration goals. And I just ordered one, and I will be doing a full breakdown of how powerful it is, so follow for more. And we can hit save. And so what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually sharing this with my MacBook Pro, and I am going to drop this video in Descript. If you've never used Descript, it is a very easy video editing tool to use if you do not know how to use Premiere Pro. Not a lot of people understand the types of things you can do on Descript. So I'm gonna go over some of those things here. So I'm just dragging that video in, and while that is transcribing, what I'm also going to do is I'm gonna start getting some footage from Twitter. Twitter's the best place to find some of these things, and we save some of them. So video showing how it is fast, so we can actually I want to start downloading some of these. So we already downloaded that image here. Here is a video. So what we can do is we can just copy this link, and we're going to go to Twitter down, and we're going to select this right here. We're going to paste it in, and this should download a video, and we're going to download it. Should be good to start. So now we can go back to Descript. This should be done, transcribing at least. And here we go. So let's take a look at this.
Let's go ahead and restart this.
And so we can remove this part at the beginning. So let's go.
Starlink is revolutionizing the internet, and it's growing faster than you might think. As you can see here, Starlink speeds.
And so let's go ahead, and I want to make the first thing Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a very polarizing and viral figure. Starlink, Elon, and let's just go by the top here. So we'll start off with this image. It's captivating. It's got some weird thing in the background. And I think this will actually capture people's attention. He's talking to a woman. Let's go ahead, and we're gonna go back to that Twitter video downloader, and we're gonna paste that link in, and we're gonna snag this video at the highest possible resolution, and we're gonna download this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to Descript, and what we're gonna do is we're basically putting these slashes, because you can drag things onto specific parts of the video, which creates these new chapters. And you can see here, these are divided by the chapters that are separated by these slashes. And so Descript allows you to edit videos with just text, and they're separated. You see that? It just added a third one. This cutting-edge satellite has over 4 million subscribers worldwide, blah, 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 2028. So watch this. So this one is we are going to just hover over this, and now now that that's highlighted, we're gonna grab that video of Elon Musk and we're just gonna drag it on top of this. And so this puts this video on top of me. And so here we go.
Starlink is revolutionary.
And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that it has no volume, and we should be able to come up to layers, I believe, layers. And we are going to make the audio of this 0. And so now this is what it looks like.
Starlink is revolutionizing the internet, and it's growing faster than you might think. As you can see here, Starlink speeds are impressive, hitting 192 megabits with low latency.
And so what we can do here, we're adding this video right here, and we can actually make this full screen, or I'm not sure how we want to do this. Yeah, maybe we do want to make it like this, and then maybe what we do, we should actually make this back part right here. And anytime you're editing, it's gonna be by default, you're only gonna be editing this chapter. And so what we might wanna do is make this opacity in the background down a little bit, so the focus, it's a little bit easier to focus on the foreground showing the speed test. So we can go like this.
Starlink is revolutionizing the internet, and it's growing faster than you might think. As you can see here, Starlink speeds are impressive, hitting 192 megabits with low latency.
And so that's pretty solid. And so what we can do here,
low latency. This cutting-edge satellite internet service has 4 million subscribers worldwide, which is a staggering 1 million new users in the last 4 months.
And I'm just gonna go for just this part right here. We're gonna highlight this part right here. And now we can drag this chart onto here, and this is a subtle thing, but I am going to click on the layer below this, and I am going to lower the opacity slightly so the user's eyes are drawn to this right here.
You can see here, Starlink speeds are impressive, hitting 192 megabits.
And so this is actually the wrong part of the video. I want to cut this, and I actually don't want this part. What we want is this to be this part right here. So
you can see here, Starlink speeds are impressive, hitting 192 megabits with low latency. This cutting-edge satellite internet service has 4 million subscribers worldwide, which is a staggering 1 million new users in the last 4 months. At this rate, Starlink is on track to become the #1 internet provider in the US by 2028.
And so let's go like this. Let's copy this part right here. And I think what we could do here maybe is maybe we'll toss this one on. This is like the easiest method. I normally edit in Premiere. In fact, I have a video editor, but this is how I started. I think this is a great way to learn to make videos. If you want to create quick videos and you want to rely on your energy and your personality and not rely too heavily on the video editing, I think this is a really good process. And this actually will help you automate in the future because it's text-based editing. You can do a lot of this automatically, and I have plans on learning this API and integrating it with the app that I'm creating. We can go to captions, and we can, I like these ones right here. These ones are solid. Now it's applying captions. Let's see. Let's make these a little bit wider, just like this.
Starlink is expanding rapidly into new markets across Africa, the Middle East, and the Pacific Islands. With a projected $6.6 billion in revenue in 2024, Starlink isn't just connecting the world,
And so just a few moments later, right, we had all of the, everything organized, right? We immediately got done with the composition. We started filming on our phone. We threw it into Descript, and then we had all of the things that we saved during the initial capture or the clipping section of this process. We could just paste them into the section that they go into, and you don't even have to really edit. And there is this other feature, which is Underlord, where you can shorten word gaps. And so we can take anything with over 0.3 seconds, right? And there's 3, we can shorten all of them. And so now all of the gaps are removed.
Starlink is revolutionizing the internet, and it's growing faster than you might think.
And so we exported this. So I hit publish, and this will automatically upload to the internet, and you can send this to anyone. You can add comments and send it to my editor, and this is what I normally do. And so that is a really quick example of how you can structure your full video creation process. And it is clipping, threading, composing, filming, and editing. Clipping is saving your ideas to a central location. Threading is ordering those in a way that is interesting, that exemplifies your personality and true opinions. Composing is taking all those opinions, formatting them into a structure that sounds like your voice, that is optimized for retention, that gets the job done and evokes certain emotion. We did not get into composing theory. I just showed a random example using a custom GPT. In the app that I'm building, I'm actually going to build in proper click-through, like what you want the user to do at the end of the video, like follow you or go to your app, or build those things directly in there, and the emotion that they should feel at the end of the video. Then I showed you the filming process, which is something that I think we could actually build into the app, where it just takes the composition and allows you to film with the teleprompter on the screen as you film. And so that is the overall process. And so one of the biggest reasons why AI sucks at writing, and many people say AI sucks at writing, is because it lacks context. It doesn't fully understand who you are, what you think about the world, because you haven't given it enough. If we can create an app where you share your ideas with an app, where you save interesting things, and then every time you do that, you add your notes, you can create an AI bot within this app that learns what you think, and it will begin to have your opinions, and then you can write in your voice much easier. It will be a lot easier to create that first draft, because the composition, remember, is designed to get you 90% of the way there, right? You should be able to just organize your ideas really quick, throw clips together, yap about it a little bit, just record with your voice, and boom, create a composition that immediately gets you through 90% of the composing, maybe 80% through the composing. You just refine it a little bit, boom, you're filming, boom, you're editing. That is the process that I want to create, because switching through all these windows, super annoying, not ideal. We want to find a quick, fast workflow that takes you directly through it. And that's what we're trying to build with this first app that we're creating in this Software Composers community. So you can pick up your phone, go for a walk, immediately start recording. Record your ideas. At the same time, the ongoing system is you're just throwing in interesting ideas that you find throughout the day, whether you're on your computer, you're on your phone. You can take a photo and upload it to Yap Thread, and eventually you're going to organize everything. And when you come to the app, you can mix and match them, and then you can immediately create a composition based on any preset that you want. And you're going to be able to create a bunch of different presets, and this is not just going to be for content creation. There's going to be other presets like to-do lists or brainstorming ideas, all kinds of different things. Shout out to you if you're still watching this video, because you're a real one. Because what I wanted to shine light on in this video was like my thought process around both creating and composing. Because ultimately, I wanted to show you just the overall process. Normally, I'm saving things about workflows, about tutorials, things I can share with you guys, the process. In fact, this outline was created by me yapping into the early prototype of the app. I can't show you guys yet, but I basically yapped into the app. I was like, all right, I was talking about all the things that I did, and it basically organized it into this 5-step process, which is one of the custom prompts that are going to be on there. I call it the incomplete puzzle, where it's like in this 5-step process, you now have this puzzle that enters your brain, right? And you're like, oh, what's the 5-step process? And then I slowly unravel it. You want to stay to the end. It's a very effective mechanism, or attention mechanism. And that is going to be one of the custom presets in the app. So if you want to join the waitlist for the app, do it. I'll see you in there. And yeah, this is kind of how I think about solving the problem, by building and composing an app. I'll see you guys in the Software Composers community. Peace.